almost sort of allude to a K, or the elements of the road in the K. Take this awning off, just shove this up there. Oh, no, we don't. I just have to undo all these. Okay. Okay. I've had to resort to sliding it on from the end. So if we were clever, we'd do this before putting the awning on, but at least we can still do it. And tighten these ones up. The vertical load is taken by the roof rack. Got the suction cups to hold it onto the window, and multiple mounting points. We got this here and here. That feels pretty good actually. That's pretty good. So we wanted to try it out, see what they're like, see how useful they might be, any of the issues that might arise with this, potentially some of the legalities and so forth. The other thing too is like whether or not people would look at that and say that's a little bit too tactical, or whether they actually quite like it, quite like the look. We'll see. We're using these ram mounts for this round of prototypes. We do have a couple of other types of suction cups we want to try as well. The Prado's got a fairly small window, but you can imagine on a 70 series or a GU, there's a fair bit of surface area there to mount stuff on. You know, would you run them without anything mounted on there, you know, just for the look, or do you find that that's going to actually add some utility to your vehicle? Stuff being on the outside, you need to make sure it's secure. Generally dirty stuff and stuff that you don't want to put inside that might leak. Fuel, controversial, but people do it. If you can get a nice slim one, Pelican case would be nice, all lockable and so forth, and maybe you put your recovery gear in that, your soft shackles, quick access. We've got the Stowitts on top of this one to put an axe. This one's lockable as well, so we thought we'd try that. You could mount lights and so forth on there too, potentially. Litres, 30 plus 35, 35, 70, 118 litres.
You're thirsty.
Yeah. Have a long shower. Oh, that one's a good one. Here. That works well. We've got that angle lining up on that line right there. Maracas. And charcoal was the right colour, for sure. The black and the charcoal works well. This will work really well with the sink, because you can just run the tap to the kitchenette. You don't need any pumps or anything, really easy.
If someone doesn't have the other 100 litres on board. True, it's like just inside the guard there. You can hardly notice it really. Be interesting to see sort of from the inside as well. Yeah, when you sit inside, it's well within. You can really tell it sort of sits inside this handle. There's lots of people who run the Rotopacks sort of mounting system and Rotopacks containers. The way they work, they've got this aluminium mount. I just thought I'd put it up there and have a look at it, and it looks quite good. Nice and low profile as well. I think they look quite good like that, eh? A good step has always got a bit of grippage, so we got some grip tape to put on. How are we going to do this in production? Are we going to do production? I guess that's the $1 million question. How bad do people want the steps?
That's it. That step does really disappear, eh? Much easier to do it from this end, and much easier to do it off the vehicle. Grippy.
your whole weight on it?
It's a stupid thing to do, but
Can do it.
not a slider, but pretty solid. Yeah, that's shaking the car. These are nice how they rotate like this, these little elbows. Not all of them do that. I have to do a little tiny hose up to it. If not cut my thumb. Cool little tool. So on these tanks we've got an outlet on the bottom and an outlet that goes into the engine bay. So still deciding whether just one's enough, because you can fill and drain from the one, but having the outlet up in the engine bay, just going to see if that's going to be handy. I suppose then you don't have to duck down and you don't have to worry about dirty outlets. Time to tidy off all the loose ends and get this finished. So can you believe it? She's finally done. It's been a heap of work and it's taken a bit longer than we expected, but I'm sure you can agree, looks absolutely fantastic. So now, not only is the car ready to hit the tracks and do some more trips, she's ready to go out there and go to all those 4x4 shows to show you what we've been up to. Now, I thought we'd finish off where we started and go for a bit of a walk around and go through all the little things that we've done to this vehicle. Inside we have our rear roof shelf with the two side mollies. We've got a 12-volt electrical setup with our console. Got another one here with level meters, a little inverter as well, handy, and our pods. Hanging off the molly, we've got a first aid kit, and we have got an oven hanging off the shelf too. So lots going on here, but really functional and really organised. Got our table again because it's one of our most used products. Have it in black, we've got the cage, the caddy, and the left-hand side cage as well, with a little retainer strap, chopping board too. Another concept product, we've got this basket on the rear window, handy for putting stuff in, also MOLLE compatible. So we're going to see how that one goes and how that one works. Here at the front, what we've got is a bunch of new lighting. We've got the steady spotties on the front there. We've got a concept product, antenna mounted to the mirror, which has freed up the bonnet mounts for some ditch lights. We've got some 4-inch steady lights on there, and we've got the light bar up the front, so no need to be afraid of the dark. Got plenty there. On the outside, we've got another one of our concept products. It's been really good to experiment with this and understand what we need to do to make this work. So this is an external window panel, or some call it a MOLLE panel, but we think it's more useful for actually mounting things too. So we've got the stowits here with a little axe, but plenty of options to store other things. So on this external window panel, we've got a vast water tank, but we had to think about
all the sort of things that customers or people might want to mount to this. So it could be rotor packs, it could be max tracks, anything dirty, anything you don't want inside your vehicle. So it's actually been a really good exercise having a think about these panels. Roof rack. We've gone for a Series 6 Pioneer platform rack, and we've got the stealth mounts with the max tracks extremes on the top. We've got a 270 awning, Darshi awning with our awning brackets. Got the shovel mounts, and we also got a Starlink mount, starport on the back there. And you can't see it, we've got a table slide underneath as well. On this side, we got some side lighting as well, which is hooked up to the ditch lights to help illuminate when we're off-road and on the tracks. Being able to mount a good shovel is always really handy, especially when you need to go in a hurry. Off the back of the door here, we've got our new Outback mount with the MaxTrax lights mounted to the tyre. Fits really nicely, I think that looks great. Got the rear step to help us get up onto the roof rack, and we've repurposed this antenna mount for a reverse light. We've put a little steady 4-inch light on there. It's really bright. Got the gas bottle mount over here, really nice position because we can just hook our gas up to the table on the other side. Inside, we've changed out the knob for a billet aluminium one. The colour on this one's probably a little bit dark, so we might try some lighter colours. We've got new comms with the GME radio, and underneath the seats, we've got 2 extinguishers, a fire strike on the passenger side and a normal one on the driver's side. We've also gone for some new seat covers, same ones that we used to have, the black ducks, in the black denim. We've done a little bit of a wrap, we've got some livery on here so you know it's the K-On vehicle. We've gone the Method rims in the titanium, which matches up with the silver, and we've gone muddies as well. We've got the Kenda MT2 muddies in a 33-inch. Underneath the vehicle, plenty going on as well. So firstly, we've put a new lift in. We've got the ARB MT64 2-inch lift and shocks. As well as that, we've got diff drop at the front to help with the CVs, and we've got a panhard in the back to help with the geometry. Covering all that up, we've got the underbody protection, got the X700 front sump transmission, we've got the shock guards out the back as well, the transfer and actuator guard, as well as the prototype concept rear fuel tank guard. And coming back to the front again, we've got our recovery points, so plenty going on underneath the vehicle. On the side here, we have some steps now. Not only are they functional, help you get in and out of the vehicle and up high onto the roof rack, these are actually water tanks. So 35 litres of water on both sides give us an extra 70 litres of water. We really wanted to understand how we might use these and the challenges in making them, and they were hard. We had a bit of a rethink about how we might use the tanks, how to fill them, how to empty them, how the pumps might work, whether or not you might want to transfer water. So we've got 2 fill points, there's the left and the right tanks in the engine bay, mainly to make it easier to access and keep it clean compared to having the fill points on the tanks. Having said that, we do have the fill points on the bottom of the tanks as well. This is the left-hand tank, and we have an outlet on the bottom here. I'll just open that up. We can let water out there, or we can fill from that point. And you might just see above it, we have a water pump as well that pumps to the outlets at the back. With the water tanks, I always like having a level meter, so we incorporate level meters for all the tanks. So we've got 3 senders. Left, middle is the one at the back, and the right one. So I know how much water is in there. This is the pumps. This is the switch to turn all the pumps on. And we can have a look at the outlets now. We have 3 outlets on the back here. Left tank, right tank, and the center tank. And the way these work is you just turn them on and the pumps turn on. What this allows us to do is to actually transfer water between the tanks. And the way you would do that is just attach the hose and you can run it to the side, maybe transfer water to one of the side tanks or vice versa. I've got an outlet for the rear tank down here. So this vehicle's got heaps of outlets, there's so many taps and valves, but I wanted to understand what the best way to use the water is. I wanted to use these magnetic faucets from Julka. Really handy, and they also look nice as well. So the idea is to just hook it up like that, turn this on,
And it's got its own little switch there too. Switch it on and off from there, or down from there. If you have the kitchenette set up, perfect spot for it. Another way you might be able to use these faucets here is attaching it directly, and have a look at this. Out the back, Prado the water truck. We can keep the dust down, it'll take forever. Now we've got so much water to play with, it sort of gets us thinking what's next for the Prado build. What else can we have a look at? And I was thinking, ensuite tents, how we might mount those, how we might sort of plumb those up. Probably want to do a bit more with the storage and get a fridge in there, as well as having a rethink about how we might do onboard air a little bit differently. Now that the first stage of the build is complete, you might be wondering about GVM. The Prado has a GVM of 2,990 kg and a payload of 660 kg as standard. We've put an extra 440 kilograms of accessories. Now, if we fill all the water tanks on this vehicle, that adds another about 120 kg, leaving about 100 kilos of payload, which is me. Now, most people won't have all these accessories on all these water tanks, so you won't have as much weight, but regardless of that, we're going to do a 10% GVM upgrade, which will post-rego, which will give us a total payload of around 400 kilos, which is quite manageable and quite practical. So this build has been quite a journey. Not only have we restored this vehicle and got it back to being a really capable and practical tourer, we've learned a lot of things along the way, and we've been able to have fun with some prototypes and projects that we've wanted to do for a long time. The other thing that really sort of strikes me is the progression of Kaon itself, from the first products I developed on this vehicle to all the bits and pieces that are on here, and how we've improved over the years, and how complete a sort of problem-solving exercise we've created for this vehicle and for others as well. Now, this is a 15-year-old vehicle, and you can agree that it's scrubbed up really well, and still is a very practical, capable, and quite an easy vehicle to build up to go touring and go see all those places that you want to see. I'm quite excited to actually test out some of these concepts, like the water tank steps, the side panels, and a lot of these are concepts, and we don't know what issues we might have, so they're going to need a lot more testing before we release those out as products. So, we're looking for your comments. There'll be some that we will be, quite confident will be get released, but let us know what you think. Let us know what products you want us to focus on. Thanks for following along with the build, and thanks to you for all the comments and suggestions and product ideas, actually. Also, thank you all the partners that jumped on board. It's been really humbling that these well-known brands know about us and are willing to partner with us to put this vehicle together. And I must say also a great thanks to all the people here at Kaon that has made it possible, from the people behind the camera to all the people that helped put these prototypes together, and couldn't have done it without them. They put in a heap of work to get it done. So come see this vehicle in person and tell us what you think. We'll be at the National 4x4 show in Melbourne, the 4-Wheel Drive and Adventure show in Sydney, and perhaps the one in Perth as well, if enough people ask for it. So thank you very much, and hope to see you at the shows.